The next gentleman on stage here, the first gentleman on stage, in fact, is going to share with you how that path is going to develop, unfold, and what the vision is really in the future. Gentleman who's going to do that, a digital media executive with extensive expertise on content value chain, ecosystem, technology, enablement. Also a leader, a mentor, a speaker found on many stages, certainly around the world, and a lecturer focusing on next generation immersive experience such as I say, VR and AR as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the head of VR at Nokia Technologies, Mr. Tarif Sayed.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Good morning. Can you hear me? I guess so. Good. So sorry for being late 7 minutes or 9 minutes, I guess. But we're going to talk a little bit about some interesting stuff. I will start with a video to tell you what we are doing right now at Nokia Tech. Let's play the video.
Our world today is a world of technology. It surrounds us, connects us, making life seamless, instant, almost effortless. It caters to our every need and keeps us comfortable and in motion, day in and day out. But think back to a time when technology had the power to truly move us, shake us out of our routine, break through the ordinary, and make us feel something extraordinary. Moments when technology filled us with wonder and made us feel connected to a greater world full of brand new possibilities. What if technology could move us in this way again? Awe us, humble us, broaden our circle of understanding and compassion in ways that don't just improve our lives, but improve the lives of all. Technology that moves us emotionally, moves us to act. Technology that isn't just ever present, but actually makes us all more present. Present in the lives of people we have never met. Present to a way of being and feeling we could never have imagined before. Present and connected to ourselves and our bodies, inspiring us to achieve new levels of well-being and happiness. Technology that moves us this deeply is technology that moves us all forward. This is Nokia Tech.
So, most of you know Nokia, and we used to say Nokia connecting people. We never changed that. We're still connecting people, but we're connecting them in a different way. The what is still the same. The tool or the device, it used to be a smartphone, and now it's a virtual reality camera or health devices. And we are still on the same mission. I'm going to take you through today through a journey where we are in the virtual reality and where we're going to go in the future. This is how we used to film in the past. It used to be a very complex piece of equipment. It needs 5 people to operate it, maybe. And it takes so much time to process the image. And we moved now to a totally new place. We moved to these technologies. A simple camera, all compact in one place. And in the past, we used to film a frame, a 16 by 9 or a square frame that has moving images in it. Now we film a full sphere of images altogether. Let me show you how you guys look like on the camera. Can we switch to the camera, please? OK, the guys. Can we switch to the camera? Oh, we are on. OK, because I don't see it here. Anyway, so this is how exactly the camera now is filming you. And I'm going to show you how it could look like in a full spheric image. Obviously, it's low quality because we're rendering that to show it to you real time. We're stitching all the 8 cameras together. But let me show you a little bit better quality. And here we go. So as you can see, I can turn it anywhere, and I will be showing a full 360 image. This is where we are right now in the industry. However, we don't want to stay at this stage. We want to take it a little bit further. And let me tell you how we're going to take it further. Let's go back to the presentation. Sorry for the delay, but we have some issues. The technology I just showed you, it's going to really take us to new places. In the past, the experience used to be passive. I am sitting here, and I see a screen in front of me. The new VR experiences, it's going to put us in the place. It's going to take us to the stadium where we feel like we are literally in the stadium. Or it could be making us an event. 2 weeks ago, there was Mobile World Congress, and I couldn't attend. However, we were streaming, and that's our president and CEO. We were streaming our event from Barcelona, and I was sitting at home in San Francisco and watching him as if I was really close to him. This is the type of experiences that VR offers us today. It can transport us from one place to another. Or the last speech of Obama. Only few people could go to the White House, but there was millions of people at home watching that speech in VR with Ozo. Or if you remember the opening ceremony of the Euro in France, where Ozo was on the main stage. And this is why I use this picture, because we will never be able to be close to an artist while he is or she is in the middle of a stadium. You can film them from really far place, but to feel like you are on stage beside a celebrity, that's what VR can do for us right now. It feels like being there. It feels so real. It feels like we can touch objects. And we're going to talk about how we make the user feel like they can touch objects. Let's go back to where we used to be. This is the image that you can watch right now on your TV. It's a rectangle. It can have a still, or it can have moving objects. And to tell a story with that, all what we need is to control those objects, control the frame, control the light, and this is how, and we build on that frame after frame to tell a story. Now we have some technologies that can do panorama, so we have a little bit bigger space to play with to tell the story. In VR, it's even wider. It's everywhere. It's full 360. It's 3D, and this is the importance and how VR, the opportunities to tell a story. It's really like possibilities are really far beyond what we know right now. We have full 360 image and full 360 sound that these cameras could capture and transport us to a new place. There are many feelings or purposes that VR could take us through. The first one is that feeling of immersion. We feel like we're close, we're immersed by a specific moment. In real life, we can't get closer to a bear in the North Pole. In VR, we can literally stand and feel like he's very close to us. That powerful feeling to be close to something that we as a human being never been there, or at least if we're going to be there, we're not going to live after that moment. But now with VR, we can really live that moment and feel immersed of the powerful of such moment. This is what VR could bring to us. Embodiment, thanks to companies like Leap Motion, where they do some sort of controllers that could become your hands. And if you think about it, if this is my point of view and I have hands here, I will really feel like I'm taking a new body. I'm having a totally have a new virtual body and live the life of someone else. And this is, we've been talking a lot about VR. The whole experience, it could take us really to a place sometimes a little bit scary, because your brain is know your body very well, but at the same time you have those tools that makes you're taking someone else's body. You have to try it. It's really very interesting experience. The feel of presence. If this is a field and the camera is being there filming, and I will put the headset on my eyes, I will feel that I am now the feeling of presence in that moment, in that place. I might be even my brain, because I'm fully surrounded by those sounds and the 360 image with full 3D. I will feel that I am there. I am at that place. I might even, my brain could tell me something about the smell or the wind that's playing. It's that much real. It's a tool of empathy. It's a tool if I want to feel like someone else feeling. This is a film was shot with Ozo about a life of a Syrian refugee. Obviously, VR will not ever make us feel the life of a refugee. Myself, as a child, I was a refugee for a couple of years, and the feeling, nothing will be able to create it. But at least with VR, we can create a feeling very close. We can be sitting here or sitting anywhere in the world and at least feel a little bit about how somebody is feeling a bad moment or having even a fun moment. That is a really powerful tool to use it to share not only a video or audio, to share moments, to share some feelings. Let's talk, we talked a little bit about how powerful the tool. Let's talk a little bit about the technology and about how we're going to move not only the technology, but we want to move also the storytelling. The storytelling in 2D, it used to be very simple. The storytelling in VR at this moment, it has more capabilities. If you can see on the screen behind me, that's the spectrum. We started with the 2D photo or video on the left, and that's actually, many people call it virtual reality. It used to be virtual, but it's very less immersive. Where we move after that to a more experience where we have 3D images and we have some augmented reality that we can add objects over the image. And then where you see that blue arrow, this is where we are right now. This is where we are today. We are in the 360 video pictures or video with 3D. That's what Ozo can do. It can film a 3D image, full 360 with full 360 sound, where we can watch it on an HMD. The next step is 4 degrees of freedom. And let me explain to you what could be the 4 degrees of freedom. Can we switch to the camera, please? Can we switch? So now we call it 3 degrees of freedom. I'm going to talk about it later. But now, if I move this up and down, the viewpoint is still at the same level where I shot. It's still at the view level of the camera. If I take it here, it's still the same. That's what we want to change. Because your brain, if you watch now, put this on your head, and you go down and up, or you move here, or a little bit front, your brain knows that your body is moving front and left and right, but the image is not moving. I'm not getting closer to the microphone. And that's what we want to change. And then after that, the 6th degree of freedom, where I will be having the headset on my face, and I will be able to walk. I will be able to come closer to you, and even if you're talking, I will be able to hear you a little bit more closer. And that's what really move us to become even more immersed in reality. Let's go back to the presentation and show you a little bit. As I said, there is multiple experiences. There is the 360 panorama, where to be able to achieve it, we need a very simple camera. Those cameras are available on the market. They don't do 3D, but they capture a 360 photo or a 360 video. And that's what we call it, the 360 panorama, where on Facebook or YouTube, you can share it and then turn your mobile or with your finger. And that's the early phase of we don't even call it virtual reality. It's more a 360 passive experience. And all what we can do in that experience is to move the head up and down and left and right. There is no really more than that we can do. And that's, there is no, the motion of parallax where I have a depth. It doesn't exist in that experience. And then we moved to OZO, where you can capture 3D image and 3D video. And also you can estimate the depth. Means, what I mean by estimate the depth, OZO now, it can look at Oli and my colleague there, and it knows the distance between the viewpoint and Oli. And it will know also the distance with the people sitting in the second row and third row all the way. It will be able to recognize the depth of every object. And this is really very important. Very important first to create that feeling we talked about, to move my head a little bit here and there. And that's really a very important thing for our brain to process the new experience. And also, this is a great way to start adding augmented reality to the 360 image. And by adding augmented reality, if I am filming right now here, and I want to put the name of every one of you on your shoulder, I need to know really exactly where you are in space and how you are far, so I can place that piece of a graphic on each one of you. Or if I want to bring a dinosaur and bring a dinosaur to watch me here, I like dinosaurs actually to watch me. I wish I was like a couple of million years ago. So I can bring really a dinosaur and place that dinosaur or any object in the size in the right place, and it will feel as if the dinosaur is in that place. And that's exactly what Oli working on day and night. No pressure. You have 20 days to deliver the demo. And then after that, we move to the future. The future is a little bit more complex, but it's very interesting. The future is we put multiple cameras, and even we can add multiple sensors. If I'm putting one camera here, one camera there, and one camera there, I will be able to capture every angle of the image. I will be able to capture every depth, every size of an object. I will be able to capture the light, which we call it light field. I will be able to capture the volume and render it all together in an experience, on a 3D experience. And this is where we want to be. This is where we want to be 5 years from now. We're trying to make it shorter, but I think the maturity of that technology, it will take us 3 to 5 years. And this is where we feel we can create an experience, and we make you feel as if you are on the moon. You can live Armstrong experience on the moon. Not only by watching, now we watch that video, but we're still disconnected. The moon is still so far from us. In the 6th degree of freedom, I will be able to create that image with the depths, with the object. I will be able to walk on the moon and feel I am closer to Apollo. Was it Apollo, not 13, 7. And this is where we want to be. Once we move there, we will be able also to add augmented reality object in that space. I can maybe add an alien sitting behind Armstrong and create some suspense. This is the type of experiences that we want to build for the future. Now, let's talk about what we can do from a storytelling perspective, based on that progress of technology, from a 360 experience, from one single point of view toward the 6th degree of freedom where I can walk and touch objects and interact with objects. First thing we have to think for the content creators, I don't know if we have any people here produce content. Yesterday I was in London and I was pretty much talking the same talk, and I had so many producers, and I asked them, did you try 360? And the average age of those producers is 30 to 45. And they've been working for 15 and 20 years in their life, filming with 2D, filming with cameras that we all know. Like my colleague in the industry filming right now is filming a 2D image. And it's a frame. To be able really to move and create stories in 360, we have to throw the frame. Where there is no frame, there is stage. Imagine that I want to take that camera and put it here. I don't want to think while I'm setting the camera that I'm capturing a piece or a piece. I should think really global. I should think about everything around me. And actually, I did some testing with my little son, 8 years old. I wanted to play a video for him, actually, but the video didn't play. I took Ozo with me on a weekend, and he plays games. He's an expert in really playing games. He plays even VR stuff. And I told him, how you want to shoot your football game? And he took the camera, and he put it very close to, like, in the middle of the goal, beside the goalkeeper. And I told him why you did that. He said, that's the interesting piece, is when they score, I will feel that I am almost the goalkeeper if I am watching it. If I will ask a director, like myself, where I used to direct content and produce, I will maybe not think about that angle. I will say, I have maybe to put it in the middle where I see everything. And that's really the way we need to move forward. I think the next generation creative people will be able to tell better story in 360. I also, I worked a lot in my career. Before Nokia, I was working at Dolby, and it's all about sound. And sound always is a topic. When I start talking, I never stop. I have 8 minutes. I'm going to try to talk only 1 minute about sound and not 8 minutes. But sound in VR is very important. And that's why we put 8 microphones on Ozo. Because sound, it gives us the sense of direction. If I am filming here and the action is happening somewhere here, and I guess you are tweeting, and then I'm going to be focusing on you, and suddenly I want the viewer to look somewhere else. I can use sound as my cue to make them look. I can create a sound from this way, and immediately the viewer will be looking to the other side. Sound, it will also add more immersiveness to the experience. So once we are telling a story in VR, we don't need really only to think about the visual, about the stage, about the 360. We need to think about the sound scene, how the sound scene sounds, how I can use that full 3D sound to tell my story better. Now, we're still really in the early days of VR. What we're talking about now, it's maybe, again, yesterday in London I said, we're not in the version 1.0 of VR. We're still maybe 0.7 or 0.9. And this year, 2017, we will be able to move to a true VR experience very soon. So keep following the news toward end of April. We have some exciting news to tell the world about how we're going to make the VR experiences much better. And let me show you where we are in the technology that produce 360 VR experiences. This is a screenshot from an editing system. Is it familiar? It's very familiar. It's the same way we used to produce 2D. It's the same way that my colleague in the industry who was filming, he will take his material and take it to the editing system. We only bending those tools to make them accept the 360 images. So we didn't yet create, as an industry, the virtual reality post-production tool. The opportunity is still there. So if any one of you want to create some good business, go figure out how we're going to edit and post and play with images in 360. It's still early. We're still using the 2D tools to create 360. That's not where we want to be. Let's look at this one. Is it very familiar? This is how we transmit VR signals. We squeeze them in a frame, whether 2K or HD or 4K frame, and we'll deliver the left eye and the right eye, and then on the consumer device, on your mobile or on your TV, the image is combined together into a depth and experience. This is exactly how we're delivering VR right now. Do we want to really stay there in the next 4 or 5 years? I don't think so. We need really to figure out how we're going to deliver technology that delivers a full 360 image and not really a 2D image feeding it with 360 images. We don't want to stay there. We want to challenge that. Look at this one. This is how we used to do grading. This is image where we separated the background and we make it look black and white, while the woman with the red, we kept it in the red color. This is how we do that today with 2D images. We didn't really invent the 3D grading or color tool. We're still using the old thing. We started to see some signs. Let me show you a company that are a friend of ours, and they are really innovative. This is their first, called Nuke Vr. It's a tool that helps you edit in VR. They did the first step. This is how the new VR editing tool look like. But again, it's still in the early stage. We're going to do much more. What's next? Everything I talked about, we're challenging it. Every day, when me, Rashpal, and Oli wake up in the morning, we tell ourselves, everything we worked on yesterday, we're going to change it today. And believe me, sometimes we start our day in the morning with an understanding of a technology or a tool, and by the end of the day, we have totally different understanding. We're testing, we're challenging everything we know about cameras, about sound, about picture, about color, about depth, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to create true experiences, full 360 image, full 360 sound, full 3D, and allow you to feel like you're transported from one place to another. This is a job that we took at Nokia, responsibility on our shoulders. We set the goal, and we're going to work hard to make it happen. Thank you so much for listening. And I still have 3 minutes exactly. I will take some questions. I don't want to be talking all the time. If you have any questions, I will be happy then to answer. Any questions?
So any questions for Tarif before he leaves the stage? Okay, I'm sure if you do have any kind of questions or anything that spark your curiosity, you can find Ozo, Tarif over in the corner. You have a question?
No, that's Rashpal, my colleague. Tell me. Yes, actually, that's very important. I forgot. That corner behind the coffee, we have a small booth, and there is also in action. You can test it. You can play with the software. And there are actually some content shot with Ozo you can watch, including the documentary about the refugees, which is a very touching experience. So I encourage you to go there. There is a music video that you can watch in VR. There is a little bit scary sci-fi piece of content that is interesting, and it will make you sometimes feel losing your body. It will play a little bit on your brain. I will suggest that you watch it. And obviously the refugee documentary. And you can talk with my colleagues, ask questions, and I'm going to be there as well for the rest of the day. Thank you so much, and keep tracking our news online on social media and see how we're going to move that industry forward. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Tarif Said.